My name is Emiliano Molina, and this is the oral exam. For the first question, we have to provide a brief explanation of the project. The main objective of this project was to help the group of engineers doing car for Ternium by helping them model the different suspensions that they can use to get a better car, for them to be able to take pictures for certain ternium materials. For the first part, we need to do initial research about what was a suspension model, the different degrees of freedom that they got, and also how are all the different subjects we saw on class related to this. Then we did a laboratory experiment where we were asked to simulate the damping ratios of the different beams we use. In this case, we used two beams. The first one was an onyx beam, and the second one was a TPU beam. Both of them were plastics. In the laboratory, we did a simulation on how this beam was going to behave according to the force that we applied to the beam. With this lab, we got different values for how this was going to behave, such as the maximum points and minimums for the graphs. With this, we were able to calculate the logarithmic decrease, obtaining the maximum points and applying to a natural logarithmic, I think. I'm not sure. And also in calculating the damping ratio. After this, we did a FEA model and FEA analysis that we were meant to do. For this, we take into consideration the geometry, the material, and the forces, and the mesh we use for it to work. The first and most important part of this was the mechanical properties of the different materials. In this case, we used two, for the onyx and for the TPU. First, we did a convergency analysis to get the best size for the mesh that we decide to use. In our team, we used 1.3 newtons for the external force applied. Then, of the size of the mesh, we use 0.45 millimeters for the mesh. And after this, we did 3 tests following the FE analysis. We compared the force against the deformation and to the displacement. After this, we were able to obtain the K for both of the beams. We did this with a linear regression by obtaining the most accurate points for both constants. After this, we did a MATLAB code where we were able to calculate the natural frequency. For this, we need to take into consideration the amplitude, the time, and the data we collected, such as the damping ratio and the coefficients. After this, we were able to calculate the constant of each beam as we were meant for us. This would help us to model the suspension for the car. The main purpose of all of these simulations was to understand how all the vibrations, the mechanical vibrations, the different components such as the constants, the mass, and the time, all of them work together. And finally, these data would help us to model a proper and the most accurate suspension we can use for the car in case they need it. And that's it.
Gracias.